It appeared, but he hadn't. So I'm going to call the next case where we have both parties present, Ido Avery and Jesse Brown. Mr. Brown, come on up, please. Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, please be seated. All right, so I read what the parties have filed, and I will let you know right up front that I can't do anything about the gate. The gate that Mr. Brown seemingly has installed on the easement road is something that if you're going to want to address as a violation of the easement, you're going to have to go to Superior Court and get an order from Superior Court regarding whether Mr. Brown has the authority to restrict access on the easement in that way. And I think that's probably the main issue here. So I want to let the parties know we're not talking about that today. The gate's there. I can't do anything about it. What I can do is regulate the interactions between the parties. And I do note that the Averys have expressed concern with Mr. Brown's approaches to them as they try to navigate their way through the gate, both, mostly verbally, and then also indicating their discomfort with the fact that on at least one occasion, Mr. Brown felt compelled to drop his pants and in the teenage vernacular, moon them. Really all we're addressing is the nature of the personal relationship. Do you have anything else you want to add that you think I perhaps didn't pick up in your filings or that you haven't said yet?
Yes, it's about Brown's erupts in angry outbursts constantly. And it's his delusional mind concern us greatly and make us fear for our lives. And we share the concern time to time with the police that James Brown needs professional help. That comes to my mind.
Okay, so in your mind, does Mr. Brown have any reason to say anything to the two of you at all?
Did I understand? No.
Okay, all right. Mr. Brown.
Okay, so I saw, did you get the 150 pages worth of documents I sent to you, sir?
I did. Did I read every one of them?
No, it's too much, I know.
Okay, so I've narrowed the issue. We're not talking about the gate.
I know.
Just the relationship between you and in this case, the Averys.
Yes, sir, I understand. I also want to put on there that I have a current lawsuit against them. I'm posting it today into court. And one thing I put on my response that
nobody cares.
was incorrect. My apologies for that. Is that I said that in the original report, George Nivak did not pull a gun. I reread that and he did say that he did pull a gun, and that was incorrect on there. I just want to correct my my verbiage on that. And also I have their attachment for what their complaints are, and I wanted to go over that minus the gate, obviously, of these points that they said and the counterpoints to them. Is that okay, sir?
How about just,
on your honor.
Just that's okay. Just sort of summarize it.
Okay.
Yeah, give us the short version, please.
Everything started when I first moved in. Ido Avery said that he moved the beaver down off the property. And I told him that was illegal. You can't do that. It's a felony. And I'm here because I'm trying to start a nursery. I told him at the very beginning.
You remember, I've read what's in your.
Yes, yes, sir. I've been on medication for the past 2 years as well too, for serotonin. in balance as well. I've been perfectly balanced mentally since then, and I have not done any of that. I have not lived in that house that they said for the past 2 years. I have 2 RVs on the property, both fully functional, and they're being used for an agricultural building involving house plants, snake plants, vine plants, and also seed propagation, because I am working for a nonprofit person named Brian Colbull I've known since Media Island when I was a teenager. And he's been seed restoration for over 10 years. Basically, that building that, because the thing I lived in, it's an agriculture building. There's also statements in here saying that I was banned from Tanana Market. I went to the Tanana Market that day of. I got this. I
Remember, I read.
Yes, sir.
I
Sorry,
read,
sir.
read that.
But many of the things, I've never screamed at him. What I said is, I have police reports. Here they are. And I even left police reports on his gate in between the things so he read them all. I've left him everything so he knows what's going on. You know, I have absolutely no interest at all doing anything criminal against these people. It terrifies me. My dad was in prison my whole life. I don't want that for my kid or my one to at all. I want to start a lawsuit against these people. And I'm starting a lawsuit against my neighbor, Lewis Willman, as you see in the documents. That's been filed on Friday. I don't know if you saw that. And I'm trying to go after these people for damages and harassment. Did you see that one paper that they put in my mailbox to the mail with this pants pulled down? That paper as well. There's been numerous other papers, and the word in that paper is very similar to the one that says "Protect Your Children" that has been circulated throughout town immensely. I've been random phone calls throughout the years regarding these, and has made it so I was unable to obtain any kind of fulfilling jobs in my area because I've been reduced to odd jobs because I just don't want to it's a panic attack with all the stuff that's going on. As you saw, the plethora of police reports that I have posted pertaining to my mailbox and things, and reports that have been proven false that has been done by neighbors, as it says. And I only have a problem with 2 neighbors, and that is one, Lewis Woolman and Ido Avery, who know each other and also know Diana Kremen. That has been proven on a paperwork Lewis Williams sent to the courts on August 29th, 2022, proving that they do know Lewis Woolman and Diana Kremen, the person who is responsible for the theft of my dogs, or I should say she is in the prosecutor's office for first-degree theft of my animals, who when I first talked to them, asked them, they said, I don't know these people.
Remember, I read that in that too.
I'm sorry, I forgot everything I put on there exactly. And the gate was, there's a 30-foot fence on both sides of the entrance to my property. It's not just one blocks things so they cannot go in. There's a 30-foot on both sides. On the other side, I have a small playground and a garden. It's completely inaccessible for its private property. Let's see. Sorry, just 1 second. I did moon them. Yes, I was on my property. I was off on the side because for years, I did not submit a police report and I did not get here in time to do so. Am I able to read that police report to you, sir?
You don't need to, just tell me.
Let me sure I get the date. 8/15/2020. Ido Avery and Joan Avery stopped in front of my property with the vehicle. The woman I was with at the time was inside the house, undressed, and he kept on calling in and trying to talk to her. She came because of the Beaver thing, we've never got along and we've just tried to not talk to him. But she had to call the police, and the police said he cannot stop them from using the easement, but he cannot stop and yell at us through the easement. There's also a report done actually today, 4 years ago, May 13th, maybe it's the 14th to county, saying that my daughter, River Rose Spires, I'm not sure if this is on the thing, was pooping by the side of the creek. My creek is very, very private spot that's way off the road. You would have to look really hard to see her down there. she was swimming naked on there. I got this report a few weeks ago, and I did say, yes, I feel like he is pedophile because of that sort. I did not yell this to him. I just said my feelings on that matter because he was watching my, at that time, 5-year-old girls swim naked in my private creek, and then did a report to county saying that I put an outhouse in the creek and that she was pooping in the creek, and things like that.
I read that.
Hell no.
Sure, I couldn't find that. I think I only did one copy for that. So 2 times my wife said that is not a good idea. And I agreed because I'm just terrified of getting arrested or anything illegal happening to me. And the reason I talk loud about that gate, because I don't want to get near them. I've had a bullet left in my mailbox. It's up in Lewis Wellman with the gunman. Every time I go there, I really do feel like my life is under threat. My heart races, my hands start to sweat. I just feel like something's got to happen. Everything. Said that, and that was around the same time that my cats went missing. One night, I went to the far end of my property. I was looking for my cat. It has been gone for 2 weeks by that time, and I saw him outside. And I yelled, "Have you seen my cat?" I think his reply was "F you" to me. The next morning, my other cat, black cat, went missing. I didn't want this cat to just, no, I wasn't trying to get cats. My kid's mom said, I found these 2 cats on the side of the road. They were tiny little kittens. I could hardly walk. So I said, okay, I'll take them home. You know, my dogs and my cats got along. It was so cute. And they're indoor, outdoor cats that stayed right next to the building, the agricultural building. They had their own cat house. I had a big pillow in there. It was covered so it didn't get wet. Perfectly nice. They can come indoor and outdoor when it's
I think someone needs to get back on their meds.
cold. That day, that next morning, Ido is driving really fast down the easement. His back trunk is open and he seems kind of disarrayed. And he gets out, he goes on the other side of the thing, he shuts his trunk and he takes off really fast. And that's the last time I've ever seen my cat. So
Okay, folks, let's stay muted, please. Okay.
because
Okay, inappropriate, but I don't blame them.
there's association with him, Dinah Crimmon, and Lewis Women. Dinah Crimmon was involved with theft of my animals, and the fact that my animal Jinx went missing on September 5th. The thing is, Jinx, yes, she was a young dog, and she went to a couple of houses. She was a half newbie. She was very friendly. She just wanted attention while I was gone. If I was gone for a little bit too long, she'd go to neighbors, but she never just left and then went up the road or anything like that. She didn't, and the kind of season it was in, it was not coyote season, and she was microchipped as well. Considering that I had past dog theft on my property with people that Ido and Joan both know and is in communication with, I do feel that is good reasonable cause that they are associated in some form with that, considering the past actions that has been done to my property and to me, and considering the plethora of letters that have been sent to the community, to my family. I haven't been able to talk to my family because everybody I talk to wants me to sell my property and to leave. And I love it there. I have an open presser. I want to make a nursery there. I want to make a life for my family. I am in contact with TSC. I have talked to them about installing an electrical box over there. I'm talking with environmental services about getting a septic system in there. I'm talking to Advanced Septic to get my septic system put in. I'm talking to the building department as well, too. I'm finishing up my master plan where the wetlands are. I've been doing everything I need to do legally. I have no interest at all in doing anything against the law.
Okay, so let me ask you some questions.
Yes, sir.
So when the Avenerys come in and out the easement, is there any reason that you have to approach their cars or any reason you have to say anything to them at all?
Not anymore. No. No, I won't say a single word to him again. I let them know about the court cases. I let them know.
Yeah, you can't serve them the court cases that, you know.
Oh, I know.
if
I
you're
gotta
gonna-
give it to the court and then it's mailed to them.
Okay,
I already have one with Lewis Willem done.
okay, all right. So you don't see any reason you have to speak to the Avenerys?
I will never speak to him again, Your Honor.
Okay,
I have no
and
interest in that.
you won't moon anybody?
No, Your Honor. And I just want to put on there, I have a police report with that.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
just,
sir. I will
just
not
going
moon.
forward, that
Yes,
your
sir.
clothes will stay on when you're dealing with, you know, folks on the easement.
Yes, sir. I have one question. I am worried that me and my wife like to sunbathe nowhere near the easement at all. Is that still allowed?
Yeah, it's your property, you do what you want, but this seemed directed. Mooning means you're directed at that's directed at somebody else.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
And
so
yes, it was
that
because
that won't happen again.
Yes, Your Honor. I won't do that again. I was just trying to get them to call the police so the police could tell them you can't film.
It's like the old Jeff Foxworthy joke about naked. Naked is naked with intent. This is exactly what the judge is saying here.
Off the property while I'm on my own. I should have done that better, but I can't talk to these people. There's huge language barrier between me and Ido. I don't know what he's saying half the time. And I don't think so. I don't insult accents at all. I think accents are wonderful. It's just hard for me to understand.
Okay,
You know?
right. So I just want to make sure you understand that dropping your pants and mooning somebody is not an appropriate thing to do.
Yeah.
And you don't see any need that you have to converse with the Avenerys when they go up and down the easement.
I won't say anything to them at all. And if they want to just leave the gate open when they go, I mean, that's okay. If I'm home, so I can just shut it. If they see that I'm home and they just want to drive by, fine. I mean, it's like you have my permission to leave the gate open when you drive through without shutting it behind you, if that makes you feel better, okay?
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Avenerys, have anything else you want to add?
Oh, sweet Jesus! What?
Story. And Jesse Brown already threatened us in the past to shoot us. And recently he threatened us that he will cut our electricity cable because you know what it is. And about this incident 2020 is actually incorrect because Jesse and ex were having interaction on the easement, and my wife was walking on our easement and by the gate, our gate, and Jesse just jumped up and started shouting and screaming at my wife. And I went and approached Brown and asked him to stop and harassing us while we are on our property. And I told him I'm going to call the police, and he said no, he's going to call the police and report that. And so he called the police. So, and the police talked to them, and then he came to us, and he talked to the ex. So the story about us parking the car is incorrect. It's absolutely incorrect. So, and then they came to us, and we told our story, and yeah, and that's it.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Good. Yeah, Mr. Brown, you had one other thing.
Yes, sir. So I just want to put on, I'm not sure if I put on the thing, but he said that I was banned from the $10 market. That same day I talked to the manager wasn't there, so I talked to the assistant manager and there was a police that was there as well, where I spoke to them with the police, and I talked to 4 people who were check out there. I go to that market all the time. I just want to say that comment that they said was completely false.
Right.
I'm not trying. I know. I'm sorry. That was bad wordage.
No. You had that was all in the material you submitted.
Okay. And also, I know you can't look at it because I didn't follow this one with the other police reports, but that case I was speaking of is right here, and it does comment the neighbors parking in front yelling at me. I was not there when they got there. It was my wife who was home alone, and I came not my wife, excuse me, the lady I was dating at the time.
Okay.
She was home alone, and when he approached, and then I came home, you know, after the fact and learned everything happened, everything. But she was there by herself when that happened, and also
We're all wondering who is dating this guy.
with the PSE, I have emails verifying that I am communicating with PSE about the electrical easement going through the property. I have no interest in killing myself at all by touching electricity in the line. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't do that.
Okay. All right. All right.
Sorry.
Last thing.
I'm really sorry. And when the gate, I was in there when we both came in the gate at the same time. How the police officer did say that Ido was changing his story. I have a police report in there that police says that when he said that he can request a video from Jesse, Ido started to act strangely and said never mind and dismissed it. And that was recorded on that time because I wasn't, me and him just got to the gate at the same time. I was just running in to grab something fast and going, and he was grabbing a package at the same time. And I asked him, did you steal my cat? Were you involved with it? And he said, F you to me. And he got in his car and he drove backwards last and said, I wasn't doing it you. He said,
No, I know.
he started to flip me off. And then like, what the hell? And I'm still walking to the house to get the thing. And he's just driving off back faster, And the police came later on and they confirmed this. And also the report that was done by George Nivak with them, he's saying that when I pushed him, it hurt his back. But in a previous report, he says that he had a bad back. And also I showed that nudge to the police officer. And in that report, it says they're very clear. I'm not sure if that one was in there, if you read it, that I was not interested in charging George Nivak with the crime because
I did see that.
And everything.
Yeah, I saw all that.
So I'm not trying to do anything to hurt anybody or do anything. I'm just trying to make it so I have a peaceful life and I can just be left alone.
Okay.
And I just, as you see, the plethora documents. Sorry, sir. And that's it.
That's
I'll
okay.
stop.
All right. As I indicated, I had read the material the parties had filed, and they are community neighbors, and there's an issue with the gate, which I indicated to both parties, the gate across the easement, that this court does not have jurisdiction to make a determination on. So I can't address the issue of the gate. I can't address the nature of the contact between the parties. And in this case, I am going to enter an order directing Mr. Brown to have no contact verbally with the Avenerys. You're not to moon them. You're to have no contact with them. So if you are going to file a lawsuit against them, you have to have them served by somebody else, not you. And you can deal with them in court. But outside of that, you shouldn't say anything.
Judge, the mooning would be nonverbal. I'm just saying that's an extra condition. I think what he's really trying to say here is this.
There shall not be any cutting of trees.
Anything at all to the Avenerys. And the Avenerys, understanding that, you shouldn't say anything to Mr. Brown. But the order here is to Mr. Brown not to say anything at all to the Avenerys, and you're not to go onto their property at all.
Absolutely.
And this order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. And if the Avenerys wish it to be renewed, you'll have to come back to court and seek it to be renewed at that time. Mr. Brown is present in court, so we'll make a copy of the order for him now. And for the Avenerys, if you wish to get a copy of the order, it's available in your district court file. You can contact the court and get a copy of that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, folks. And Mr. Brown, just sit tight. We'll get you a copy of that.
Yes, sir. Can I ask one question? Is it just a verbal, or if I go to the store and he's at the store, do I have to run away?
No, you don't have to leave. You just cannot have contact.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
fine.
say anything, can't flip them off, can't do anything. No mooning, nothing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry. And am I able to still put a file a restraining order against these two individuals, or am I unable to because of this? 'Cause I would like to have something so they can. Keep continue
Well,
to film me on my
We-
property.
We've just talked about it with the Avies, and I've indicated to them that they shouldn't have contact with you. And if you think that they violate that going forward, and then you can always file a request. There's nothing that prohibits you from doing that.
Yes, sir.
But for now, I'm satisfied that there's not a basis for me to enter the order as of today. But if something going forward happens, you can bring that to the attention of the court.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Okay.
that. I won't talk to them.
All right. All right. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Are you still there?
Mr. Snavely.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Keep your pants on. Don't be mooning people. We have another man in his emotions. It never ends well. I thought the couple was perfectly reasonable. They laughed. They were a little out of order, but I was laughing along with them. I really was. All right. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.